Welcome to this brief introduction to SQL Diagnostic Manager Prescriptive Analysis. SQL Diagnostic Manager has been around for many years and supports monitoring of Microsoft SQL Server. The way we distinguish it from typical monitoring tools is that it is more than just a symptom-based monitoring tool in the sense that it can give you deep dive diagnostics and even extend further than that to provide you recommendations. And it's those recommendations that we're going to pretty much focus on today with prescriptive analysis. So when you open up a Diagnostic Manager console, this is what you will see. And you have your navigation similar to Outlook on the left-hand side, but also a tabular navigation at the very top. The prescriptive analysis features are going to be located under this Analyze tab section, all the way to the right on the upper tabular navigation. So let's go ahead and click that. And this will take us to a view of some of the prescriptive analysis reports that are available from past executions of the analysis. So prescriptive analysis is something that can be ran manually. You can either click the little button here and kick it off by selecting your categories of what you want it to analyze. You can also schedule when it runs by going into the properties of the instance by selecting the instance on the left-hand side. Choose the properties option. And the properties actually shows various properties like polling intervals for Diagnostic Manager, security options for collection of data, how you're going to capture OS metrics, also configuring what you're going to do around monitoring of drives. But at the very bottom of the list is this analysis configuration. And from here you can also set up the scheduling of when the prescriptive analysis will run. There's also the option to set up alert actions where certain thresholds would trigger the analysis as well. So if I go to the Tools menu and Alert Actions and Responses, I can go into one of my rules, and one of the action options that can be configured is this Enable the Prescriptive Analyzer to analyze a server. And again, you can select the categories of what you want it to analyze. And that would be based on certain criteria, certain conditions being met for certain alert conditions before it actually triggers that. So whether you run it manually, whether you schedule it to run, or you set it as an alert action, it is going to analyze whatever categories you select. Everything from the server configuration, database configuration, resource utilization issues, index analysis, and even query improvements or queries that are running poorly that could use some improvements potentially based on what it analyzes could be wrong with a query. Once the analysis is complete, you'll have the reports listed in this view, and you can just pick from the list. I'll just go ahead and click the most recent execution. We'll go ahead and open that up, and it'll bring up a list of all of the findings. When it runs, one of the options for the analysis is how long you want it to run. And you can specify 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 minutes, and also apply additional application or database filters. But it will run for that period of time, and it will finish whatever it's working on at the time that, if you selected 5 minutes, once it gets to 5 minutes, it will still complete whatever it's working on. So you might find that it runs for 6 minutes instead of 5 minutes, for example, as it wraps up whatever it's working on. But you'll get this report displaying everything that it discovered as a potential issue while it did its analysis. And some of this information is going to be more matter of fact, like databases haven't had an integrity check performed in X number of days. And you'll see the display of the findings and any recommendations. And like I said, that one's kind of more matter of a fact. But then you have other performance related, like index. It shows this index here is experiencing a high level of page latch contention. So it shows the finding, the recommendation, and in any of these, you might even find some learning links that teach you more about that. So it's not just us or IDERA telling you that this is a potential problem. It'll also be third-party expert advice backing that up with even more learning information. Here we have a finding for duplicate index discovered. And again, it'll tell you when it's a problem, why it would not potentially be a problem, the recommendations, learning links. With whatever you select in this report, you also have these options up here at the top that will light up, like an optimization script. This one's a pretty basic one, being a duplicate index, and as you can see, the script that it provides is a script to actually drop the duplicate index. And so you could copy that out to share with the rest of your team, or click the run button here to execute it right from within the window if you want to. You can export out the entire report findings to have your entire team review these findings and go through the list together to review which findings you want to take advantage of versus those that may not necessarily be as critical for your environment. And there's other types of analysis, like I said, the query tuning type recommendations that you might find that are more aligned with really what's going on under the hood with different queries. For example, here we have search predicate contains a column expression and a function. We can just kind of go down the list here. There's all kinds of different findings. Here's a cursor could be optimized for better performance. And again, it tells you at the bottom what it discovered as a problem, the recommendation, and even a learning link to teach you about why that's a critical issue. And again, we look at these buttons at the top that light up for whatever we select, and can select the show problem, which will pop to the forefront the actual query that's running. This is actually the SSIS database for integration services, and it's showing me where I need to consider rewriting that query that executed on that against that database. So again, you'll have findings for server configuration, resource utilization, database configuration, disaster recovery configuration, queries, indexes, and as you work through these, there's a little flag option over here on the left hand side that you can click on to mark basically that you've already reviewed that item, maybe even taking it into account what the optimization script or problem is, and then now it's been marked off as been thoroughly reviewed and perhaps even deployed as a potential fix. And any of these findings could then be exported out as well and shared with the rest of your team. So to wrap it up here, prescriptive analysis is a great add-on as far as all the functionality that you get with Diagnostic Manager to give you additional recommendations to actually fix issues. And as I pointed out at the beginning, I find that that is something that distinguishes this product from typical monitoring tools that provide essentially no recommendations or any information to help you actually fix the problem, which kind of leaves you driving blind when it comes to performance problems around your SQL environment. With that, if you want to download Diagnostic Manager, it is available at www.idera.com. When you get to the website, there's a product drop-down list that you can go to and look for Diagnostic Manager. That's the name of the product. Once you download the product, it's a simple 5 to 10 minute install. And after you install the product, it actually has the license key already embedded, so you can hit the ground running with checking out the features. But I would certainly, after this video, encourage you to check out the prescriptive analysis features around your environment to get some good recommendations about how potentially to improve your performance. With that, we'll wrap up this video. I appreciate you watching this and look for future videos to help you out with additional functionality that comes within Diagnostic Manager and other IDERA tools that we offer, again, available on our website. Thank you.